Okay, guys, Juan Cortez, stop to write in my board. Okay, for today English class, we're going to do the student book pages 12 and 13. For page 12, we're going to study how to make nouns from adjectives and adjectives from nouns, and identify adjectives describing behavior or personality. And categorize verb phrases with do and make. When do we have to use do and when do we have to use make? Okay, making nouns from adjectives. How to use suffixes to create nouns from adjectives and verbs. How to make that? You have to add some suffixes as nes, ity, ains or ends, or to form nouns from adjectives or verbs. Add meant to form nouns from adjectives or verbs, or add the suffix shang or xiang to form nouns from verbs. Take this into account. Make adjectives from nouns. You can make some nouns into adjectives or adjectives into nouns by adding suffixes, extra letters at the end of the word. For example, you can make the noun noise into an adjective by taking off the letter A, E, and adding the letter Y to make noisy. So in that way, we transform or make an adjective from a noun. Aquí, noise, ruido, es un nombre, el ruido. Para convertir este nombre a un adjetivo, tenemos que quitar la letra E, que está al final de la palabra noise, y agregar la letra Y para hacer la nueva palabra que es noisy, ruidoso. Another thing that we have to do versus make. ¿Qué significa do in Spanish? What is the meaning of do in Spanish?
Hacer.
And what is the meaning of make in Spanish?
El mismo, hacer.
Okay, let's see some difference. Do and make are two verbs which frequently confuse students. It's so common that students confuse do and make. Here we will learn about the difference between do and make and when to use each one. When do you use do? When do you use do? Do is used as follows. One, do is used when talking about work. For example, do your homework, jobs, or tasks. Trabajos, lo utilizamos para trabajos y hablar sobre trabajos y tareas. Not, they do not produce any physical object. No para decir que hacemos algo físico o algún objeto. Have you done your homework? ¿Has hecho tu tarea? I have a guest visiting tonight, so I should start doing the housework now. I wouldn't like to do that job. No me gustaría hacer ese trabajo. So do is specific use cuando estamos hablando acerca de trabajos, tareas, nada que involucre el trabajo de hacer un objeto, de manejar algo físico, sino es más mental. Use your mind. Do is used when we refer to activities in general without being specific. In these cases, we normally use words like thing, something, nothing, anything, everything, etc. Hurry up. I've got things to do. Things to do. Don't just stand here. Do something. Haz algo. Cosas que hacer. Things to do. Do something. Haz algo. Is there anything I can do to help you? We sometimes use you to replace a verb when the meaning is clear or obvious. This is more common in informal spoken English. Do I need to do my hair? También utilizamos do para reemplazar verbos cuando el significado de este es tan claro o ciertamente es tan obvio y es más común o es más usado en la manera informal de hablar el inglés. For example, if someone says, do I need to do my hair? Es como si dijera, necesito hacer mi cabello. Do, the meaning of do here is obvious. ¿Qué va a hacer la chica o el chico? Brush or comb. Cepillar o peinarse el cabello. Do my hair. So, si no quieres decir voy a cepillarme el cabello o voy a peinarme el cabello y ser específico qué es lo que vas a hacer, puedes decir do I need to do, I'm going to do my hair. Voy a hacer mi cabello. ¿Pero qué vas a hacer? Have you done the dishes yet? Done. Here, the verb do in the past participle replace the verb washed. Si tú lavaste los platos. En este caso, está en negrita. Done reemplaza el verbo washed. Ya lavaste los platos, no has lavado los platos todavía. You may say, wash the dishes yet, or don't, ya lo lavaste. I'll do the kitchen if you do the lawns. Do here replace the verb clean. Are you following me?
Yes, teacher, yes.
Okay. When do you use make? Make is producing, constructing, creating, or building something new. It is also used to indicate the origin of a product or the materials that are used to make something. For example, to cook. His wedding ring is made of wool. Entonces, make lo utilizamos cuando estamos hablando de algo que está construido, creado o producido o que llevas algo para hacer algo nuevo. Habla sobre, también es utilizado para hablar sobre el origen de un producto o de los materiales que se han usado para hacer algo. Es más algo que tú construyes, va más para decir construir, ¿ok? Y si está hecho de los materiales que está hecho algo. For example, his wedding ring is made of gold. Su anillo de bodas está hecho de oro. The house was made of a dove. Wine is made from grapes. In this case, made from made. El vino está hecho de uvas. We also use made for producing an action or reaction. You make me happy. E incluso a veces utilizamos make para hablar sobre una acción o una reacción. For example, you make me happy. Me haces feliz. Not you doing me happy. You make me happy. Or you're making me laugh. Me haces reír. You make before certain nouns about plans and decisions. He has made arrangement to finish work early. They are making plans for the weekend. También lo utilizamos para hablar sobre decisiones que hemos tomado o hecho. For example, they are making plans for the weekend. Ellos están haciendo planes para el fin de semana. You need to make decisions right now. Debes tomar una decisión o hacer una decisión ahora mismo. También determinativo. And we made with the nouns about speaking and certain sounds. The baby is asleep, so don't make any noise. También lo utilizamos ciertamente con nombres cuando estamos hablando sobre sonidos específicos. The baby is asleep, don't make any sound, no hagas ruido. Make, no hagas ruido, don't make any sound. Can I use your phone to make a call? ¿Puedo tomar tu teléfono para hacer una llamada? Don't make a promise that you cannot keep. No hagas una promesa que no puedas cumplir. Ok, the time of the truth. Ok, ahora cómo hago esto. Ok, whatever. Place in page 12. The heading of the page 12 is work on your weakness. Trabaja en tus debilidades. Weak es débil, weakness, debilidades. Speak and read. Let's work together, looking at the pictures. And what do they show? How do the people feel? Look at the pictures. How looks that girl? How looks a girl with a blue sweater? How does she looks? How do you think she feels? ¿Cómo creen que ellas se sienten las personas que están, bueno, sobre las personas que están en las fotos?
Happy.
Yeah.
They feel happy.
Happy or excited? What about this girl? The girls. Okay, don't think about it. What about the boy? This young man. How does he looks? Yeah, she absolutely looks happy or excited, but what about the young man here?
He's sad. He looks sad.
Like you. Okay. Here. Choose the options that are true for you in the test above. Here. Says, I'm quiet. I cannot see it very well. Talkative. That's what it says. I tend to be pessimistic, optimistic. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm good, but are working on a team. Find it easy, hard to make decisions. I'm a good, but listener, and all in the box in this text above. Now let's work in pairs or together. Look at the options and decide which ones are definitely strengths or weaknesses and which ones can be a strength or a weakness depending on the situation. And what about you? Can you identify your own weaknesses? ¿Ustedes pueden identificar sus propias debilidades? ¿O no tienen ninguna debilidad? Oh my God.
Profa, que digamos nuestras debilidades.
Si tú tienes alguna debilidad. O can you find one of your weaknesses here or one of your strengths here? ¿Puedes encontrar algunas de tus debilidades o tus fortalezas dentro de esta información? Dentro del texto.
Profe, creo que ya encontré uno.
No, no, teacher, yo no tengo. Ahí no.
Oh my God. Okay. Daniela Ayala. Which one?
Mhm. I am not perfect. Yo no soy
Perfectionist.
perfeccionista.
Perfectionist.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, here I'm quiet. What do you think? I'm good. Mm, maybe bad tempered, con mal temperamento. Sometimes, just sometimes, not all the time. Okay. Read the tips in the article. Working pairs. Do you think the tips are a good way to identify here? Now let's read 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tips. Work on your weakness. Trabaja en tus debilidades. Who wants to read it? Daniela Ayala. Me sales de primero. Can you read the test?
El número 5.
No, here. Work on your weakness.
Todo.
If you want.
Make a list.
Make
Write
a list.
down.
One, make a list. Okay, one, make a list.
Write down all the things you consider to be weakness.
Okay, number 2.
Keep things in perspective. Nobody's perfect. Perfection isn't a realistic aim. Circle the weakness that you really like to work on.
Okay. If someone else wants to read, can do it. Si alguien más quiere leer, puede hacerlo. Number 3, Ellison. Establish priorities. Number 3.
Choose, excuse me. Choose one weakness. The one with the biggest negative impact on your daily life,
Daily
Right.
life.
like, and hopes for the future.
And hopes for the future. Okay. Juan Cortez, can you read the number 4? Take things one step at a time.
Yes, teacher. Make a plan. Think of one situation in which your choosing weakness is a problem. Next time you're in a situation, behave or think like someone who does have your weakness and be positive. If you expect a failure, you'll be probably fail. Probably
Fail. Okay, and number
fail.
5, don't give up. Jacob, number 5, don't give up.
If your plan
If your plan, if
it worked the first time,
try,
again, real change it
always,
always takes time.
if your plan didn't work the first time, try again. Real change always takes time. Oh, I like it. Si tu plan no funciona la primera, intenta de nuevo. Los cambios reales siempre toman tiempo. Is that what it says? Is the meaning of that? Do you like it? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's real? Don't give up, don't give up. Okay, now, do you think that tips from 1 to 5 are a good way to identify and work on your weakness? To make a list, keep things in perspective, establish priorities, take things one step at a time, and don't give up. Do you think that tips are good ways to identify and to work on your weaknesses? ¿Creen que esos tips son realmente buenos para identificar y trabajar en sus debilidades? What do you think? What do you think? You don't think nothing. I can't believe it. ¿Qué piensan? ¿Qué piensan sobre estos hechos o estos tips? ¿Creen que son una buena manera para identificar el problema? O, bueno, debilidades.
Yo
no
creo
son
que sí,
problemas.
profe, que si lo aplicamos en el momento preciso puede que nos ayude.
Yeah. Yes.
Que yo creo que sí, sí se pueden aplicar, podrían llegar a funcionar.
Yes, I think the same. If you put that into practice, maybe it could be works. And remember, if the plan didn't work at the first, try it again. Okay. Discuss the questions with your class and say, do you agree with the reflection point? Reflection point here. Look at here. To work on your weaknesses, you first need to identify them. Are you agree? To work in the weaknesses or any problem, first you have to identify. Para combatir cualquier cosa que no te hace bien, ¿tú crees que lo primero que debes hacer es identificar? Por ejemplo, las debilidades.
Yes.
Okay. You
Yes,
then
yes, teacher,
need
yes.
that says you then need to make a plan that allows you to focus on improving one thing. Luego necesitas hacer un plan que te permita enfocarte en una cosa a la vez. Are you agree? Yes, no, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yes,
I agree.
teacher, I
Teacher, I
agree.
disagree. Okay. At the same time, it is important to remember that we all have weaknesses and that nobody's perfect. Al mismo tiempo, es importante recordar que todos tenemos debilidades y que nadie es perfecto. What about that? Are you agree with or disagree?
I agree.
Yeah, you are. Okay. It sometimes said that everyone has weaknesses. Do you think that is true? It sometimes said that everyone has weaknesses. Do you think that's true? Do you have any weakness that can also be seen as a strength? Explain why. Algunas veces las cosas que ustedes consideran, okay, I'm going to start recording and tomorrow we are going to finish with the page 13 because we almost finished the time. Because the time with you pass of just flying.